All right, everyone. I hope you're all good. Okay, a few of you here already. It wasn't live. How did that happen? Oh, well, what can you do? Patrick, I see you. LJ, I see you. Hope you're all good. I was actually just setting up some bits there. I was going to go onto YouTube and make sure it worked. 1 second. Come on. Oh, yeah, it works. There we go. Sweet. Give me a second. Are you all okay? It's Saturday night. It's 11 p.m. UK time, of course. One minute. There we go. Link done. So why are you all here with me and not out partying? Huh? What's going on? I'm going to share this on social media. 1 second. And there we go. Okay, done. All right. How's everyone doing? How's everybody doing? So I put out about 2 hours ago now. Yeah, exactly 2 hours ago. For any YouTube channels to come on and have a live discussion with me. So let's see who turns up and whatever else. 1 second. All right. Eubank versus Benn. Who you got? I've got Eubank. I do, but I'm quite happy to be wrong on that. I'm very happy to be wrong on that. I like both of them, so what can you do? Yeah, live again. So I put out a post on social media about 2 hours ago. We'll try and get some other YouTubers on, so we can have like a bit of a chat. But we'll see who turns up. What's up? Thanks, Jam. I appreciate that. Now I'm getting a bit of time lately, which is good. What are your thoughts on Eubank, Benn? I personally think Benn wins. Okay. Nice. He could do. You never know. Are you working in the morning? On a Sunday? You're working on a Sunday? Wow. Not very well there, Dev. You're teetotaler. Yeah, same. I am too. Let it end. Hagler, Hearns, Duran, or SL. Yeah. I mean, I think most people will go Sugar Ray, to be honest. I think most people would. But, you know what? You're at work? Jeez, man. Jeez. Waiting for Ryan Book. Oh, Tyan. Yeah. Oh, he's going live soon, is he? You want the wisdom? I don't have any wisdom. Oi, what's up? Bob Arum just exposed Eddie Hearn on TalkSport. I'm a huge Joshua fan, but it's looking very bad for him and his team. Well, you have to remember Bob Arum, Frank Warren, and all that lot. They all have their own agendas, so we'll see. I wonder if Jaden or whatever his name is going to pop up. We'll see. Topics is just boxing, just the latest boxing. That's all it is, my man. All right, you got Benn. You got Eubank. Good evening, Barry. Hope you're good. think Eubank can frustrate him, but up close, Benn by stoppage. Interesting. Who would you rather win? I'm really not bothered, to be honest. I like both of them. In this particular fight, I'm going to be happy for the winner and a little disappointed for the loser in this one. I do like them. Hey, Matt. Hope you're good. Voice gone. Your voice is gone or my voice is gone? Joyce says he'd be ready to fight AJ for December 17th. Winnable fight for Joyce, in my opinion. Yeah, it is. Eubank, but you prefer Benn to win. Fair play. He's saying that it's all down to Hearn and Joshua's team and that everyone is on board. Well, yeah, I suppose it is down to them, really. Well, I say it's down to them. It's down to the endorsements and whatever the deals that Joshua has for all of them to agree, which I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Do you think Eubank is going to be a skeleton on scales? Yeah. He ain't going to look good, is he? He's going to look very drained, very skinny. And on fight night as well. Sporting, who have you got? Wilder or Helenius? I mean, Wilder, of course. Wilder. Robert Helenius, he's all right. He's a decent boxer, but he's just there in the firing line. He's ideal for Wilder, really. And of course, Wilder knows him very well because they've been sparring, and apparently Wilder beat him up in sparring. So there we go. Why you hate Fury? I don't, but the most important question is, why do you care? Even this morning, just wondering when Tyson Fury's pantomime is coming to stage, because lately the Fury's Christmas pantomime has started early. Oh, you're not wrong, it has. Not wrong. Hunting for trolls with a set again, are we? Hey, you know what? Trolls are more than happy to come up. I'm going to drop a link in a minute, Jono. So if you're available, click it. I'll try and get some YouTubers on. Get their expert opinions. Are we friends now? We can be if you take that dummy out of your mouth. If you take the dummy out of your mouth, we can be better pals. You know, but I can't be seen in public with you. Was my post too nutty? No. Why do we never see your face, mate? You have. I've put out quite a few times. I've even done some podcasts as well on like other YouTubers and things like that, where I'm there, I'm on camera. Bob's a 90-year-old stoner nowadays. I guess he is. I mean, maybe I'll text Bob Arum. What do you reckon? You should text him. Benn and Eubank on Good Morning TV. Yes, I watched that. Eubank came wearing a t-shirt that says 60% baby. Yeah. You know what he's doing there, right, LJ? He's it's a case of whatever he does again to Conor Benn, that's like him saying to him, now imagine what I'd do to you if I was 100%. That's basically adding a little bit of salt in the wound. It really is. Joshua is not even top heavyweight now. Top 5 heavyweight. Why? Because he lost to Usyk. Wow. You must be a real casual. Hello, I hope Savannah Marshall smash your shields after what she'd done to me on Twitter. Okay, what'd she do to you on Twitter? What'd she do? But I mean, I hope Marshall wins anyway. I love Savannah Marshall, and she's absolutely lovely to speak to. She really is. Wilder's a big bum going. When he lost to Fury, he went missing. Man telling upon milk cartons, the fourth fought no one but taxi drivers and waiters. Oh yeah, you ain't wrong. Who wins? Fury or Lennox Lewis? Lennox Lewis. 10 times out of 10. Have you been trolling her? Has she bitten? She bitten me before, but face to face, she's actually quite nice. Eubank looks skinny, but I think he could possibly win. Not sure though. Yeah, Linda, I think it's all about the rehydration. How does he feel on the rehydration? Evening, what's your view on Fury Wilder 4? I think it's going to happen. Well, I ain't going to watch it if it does. I know that much. I'm really not interested in a 4 fight. That's all. Make Matchroom undercards great again. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Because there was a time when the Matchroom cards were fantastic, weren't they? But as of late, I mean, they do like the odd good one, but for the most part, they're just not very good, are they? 50-50 was like Eubank and Benn. Yes, tell us what happened. Although there's quite a few people popping in now, so if I miss anybody, please rewrite it. Thoughts on the Felix Cash Conor Core fight on the Eubank undercard? Yeah, next week personally, I think it's going to be going under the radar. It's Conor Core, good fighter. He has not got that big name. Yeah, he's undefeated, isn't he? As is Felix Cash. I like Felix Cash. I've been a fan of him for quite some time. I really have. Yeah, decent fight. I think Felix Cash wins. I mean, Felix Cash looks unstoppable, though, doesn't he? He looks absolutely unstoppable. What are you going to say about Matchroom and AJ now, big man? What am I going to say? Specifically? She hates me having an opinion. Yeah. She really don't like that, does she? Okay, I reckon I've got 2 bets on decision for both. Eubank by decision is 5-1, and Benn is 6-1. Okay, nice. Cloudy, good evening, or yeah, it's good evening. 11:15. Who you got? I think Eubank, personally, but I wouldn't be mad if Benn won. Wouldn't surprise me if Benn won, but this has anyone have an opinion unless it's absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Smash the like button, guys. Click a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's exactly the same with the algorithms. It's all cool. Did you get to the York Hall main event last night? Quite scrap. No, I didn't. I didn't watch any of it. What channel was that on? It wasn't on regular TV. It was on YouTube. Let's go Nordic Nightmare. Yeah, screw up the PBC, WBC plans. Can you imagine that? If he chins Wilder? That'd be embarrassing, really. It would. There again, I mean, I do think Hellenius is better than what people give him credit for, though. Just on TalkSport saying all broadcasts are on board, even ESPN. Yeah. That's cool. It's one step closer, isn't it? I think Eddie Hearn running contract time down because he don't want the fight for AJ if he loses 3 in a row. The gravy train will come to an end. It'll be hard to sell AJ on pay-per-view. Nah, AJ will always be on pay-per-view. He could lose the next 10 fights to be on pay-per-view. He could. Who said Wilder's name and summoned me? Bad guy. It's the bad guy. It's the ghost icons. What's a ghost? Who's a ghost? Well, regardless of what happens, we should know for sure what's going on by next Friday, I reckon. Yeah. There's no reason for Fury and Joshua to not get into camp because they're going to get the deal done, aren't they? Unless one of them don't want it. Okay. Eubank on record saying he walks around at 165. I hope Conor wins, but no chance, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Eubank walks around at 165. I don't think he does. I mean, not at 33 years old, surely not. But hey, who knows? He met Johnny Fisher, cool guy, isn't he? He comes across a real cool guy. I've never met him myself. I mean, I speak to Mark Tibbs once in a while. I speak with him once in a while. But Johnny, I've never spoken to Johnny. Joyce says he's ready for Fury December 17th if the Joshua fight falls through. That's the thing, you see, because Queensbury, they'll quite happily put it on December 17th, even though that's the date that AJ wanted was December 17th. Don't text him, Bob. I'm too old to work a mobile phone. I do wonder that sometimes. I do, honestly. It's one of those kind of responses of like about 2 or 3 words, you know. Whereas me, I write scripts. I don't know why people buy into everything boxing. People in boxing say, wasn't Aram defending Margarito and the plaster in his gloves? There you go. Depends on everybody's narratives. That's what it all depends on. Hey Jesse, hope you're good. Hope you're good. Well, let's hope not, Glenn. Let's hope not. Big up Rammstein. Aye. Ich liebe Deutschland. You seen the recent Wilder spar? He looked terrible. I haven't, no. Who was he sparring? Eubank is playing mind games. What he's doing is what Amir Khan did to Kell Brook. In the end, Khan got smashed. So will Eubank. Maybe. Maybe. The Nordic Warrior. What is up? What is up? Same to you, my man. Same to you. What's your thoughts on Didion being out in America? I think it's a good move. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good move too. The Buddy McGirt. No doubt. No doubt. Well, I did text him a couple of days ago, but I guess he's still on the American time zone. Because he got there a couple of days ago, didn't he? Fury's making too much noise. A diva, I guess. Oh, he's definitely a diva. Without doubt. He's the biggest diva in the history of boxing. Great boxer. Great fighter, but my goodness. I got rid of his own disappointment with the fights. Yeah. I mean, one thing about this pay-per-view, though, is that really it's like 28 quid. I mean, £28. It's the highest pay-per-view that we've had to pay in the UK. All right. Eddie Hearn had UK boxing on lockdown. Not so much now. He's in USA and other promoters, Sky, Queensbury, have closed the gap. They have closed the gap. They have. I know some people don't want to hear that, but they have closed the gap. They have, for UK perspective, of course. Thoughts on Dillian White's punch resistance? It's a heavyweight division, you know. Everybody can get cleaned out. Everybody can. So no, I don't buy into all that. Tyson is all heavyweights for the next 2 years, even if he does chat poo. Lee, be quiet. No, he does not. You would watch Wilder versus Fury 4 and love it. No, I would not. I most definitely would not. I don't want the third fight. No, it'd be 4 fight. Can you imagine a 4 fight? That'd be crap. They could actually ruin the 3 fights that they had. Big up Sport and Icons. Love your channel, mate. Always quality content and counter arguments. Keep it up. Thanks, Hilton. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for stopping in. Well, I'm waiting for some more YouTubers. Where are these YouTubers? Are they all ducking? What's going on? Jump over to all the other YouTube channels that you all like, flood their comment section, and tell them to get their ass over here. The pay-per-view price, Wild Hellenis, is obscene. Oh, no, $75. Did you see John Fury call out Mike Tyson? Man, John Fury's a silly old prick. Fury using Joshua's name to justify Charr fight. It seems that way. But hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, it's not all bravado. Hopefully, they get the fight on. At this stage, they need to get the fight on, don't they? What side of the venue do you think Fury will need for the upcoming Fury vs. Charr? Side of the venue, probably my back garden. I'll probably say that much. Ain't nobody wants to see Manuel Charr. Nobody buying tickets for Fury versus Manuel Charr. Now, they may be able to get a lot of people in there, but it's probably going to be a lot of comp tickets. Nobody is going to waste a couple of £100 watching that. No chance. Tyson Fury's better off fighting me, you know. We'd do more tickets. You know, I've got 60,000 people that would love to see Fury punch me up. All I require is 150 million. Your calls on Boxing Social? I don't watch them. For what they've done, I don't watch them. Is it true Tyson Fury has already agreed to fight Charr at the Morecambe Soul Bowl. I don't know about the Morecambe Soul Bowl, but apparently he has agreed to fight Charr. I don't know about if he's going to fight him in the Morecambe. Is that Soul Bowl? Is that actually a proper venue? I have no idea. Yes, Dean West, my channel member. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Helenius only gets stopped when he's tired. If Wilder comes in at £230, I'll give Helenius 40%. Oh, really? Yeah. I wonder. Because Wilder looked pretty skinny. And the pictures and that I've seen of him, his legs look skinny than ever, which is saying something. It really is. Good evening, Paul V. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Another channel member right there. We've got quite a few channel members popping in there, which is great. Prediction on Eubank versus Benn. I think Eubank wins. But as I said before, I'm okay with Conor Benn winning. I like them both. Delusional comment about AJ losing 10 diamonds and still being pay-per-view. Daniel, no, it's not. When there's a superstar, there's a superstar. Unfortunately, Fury's not a superstar. He's not. Fury really going to fight Charr? Come on. Yeah, I know. I mean, would they have the audacity to keep the Millennium Stadium for that? That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? I think, if anything, it's Fury that don't want to fight with AJ. He'll only fight AJ when he has to. Well, in his statement, he said that it doesn't matter what we offer you, you're not going to accept it. So he was fully expecting AJ to not accept the fight, but he put in the offer anyway. I wonder why he did that. Just so he can say, well, I tried to get the AJ fight. That's why I'm fighting Charr. From Usyk and Joyce, our top 3 heavyweights at the moment. AJ needs rematch White, Parker, Ruiz, etc. I don't really want to see AJ rematch anybody right now. I'd rather him go fight Zili Zhang or Herkovich or something like that, ideally. For me personally, anyway. We all know it's AJ side. No, just fucking hell. Get your tongue out of the asshole of Tyson Fury. He doesn't like it. I promise you, Tyson does not like men's tongues up his backside. Honestly, he doesn't. But bless you anyway. At this point in time, Fury would demolish AJ. I don't think it'll be a competitive fight. I think AJ wants to fight and Hand don't. He'll run the clock down, then Fury move on. Eddie blame Queensbury. Wouldn't surprise me. But at the end of the day, if Joshua does sign and the fight does happen, that's Joshua telling me that he's ready. So why are people saying Fury Charr is a fight? It's a joke. Yeah, I know. Exactly. Fury's playing possum. He's eating the Happy Shopper peas I gave him. Is Happy Shopper still about, that brand? It's not a dummy. It looks like a dummy. But again, it's about like 1 inch on the bottom left of my screen. So what you lot can see isn't what I can see. It looks like a dummy. It does look like a dummy. What's everyone else saying? Does it look like that Jane has a dummy in his mouth? Oh. It's my eyesight ain't as good as it used to be, you know. Thought Eddie said pay-per-view's dead. Yeah, I know. Eddie says a lot of shit, doesn't he? Hey, Bacon and Eggs. Hope you're good. Dillian washed. Brilliant. Where's the YB? I know, probably touching kids in Wellingborough. Who do you think is the most likely opponent for Dillian in November? I think Jermaine Franklin, the undefeated American prospect. Or is he a prospect now? I mean, he's had quite a few fights. Can't really call him a prospect. Yeah, so I think Jermaine Franklin is probably going to be him. Gadget Man Chris, is Huey Fury versus Hunter got a date? If Fury wins, I'd love to see the Parker rematch or Piccoli. Yeah, why not? I'd like to see him take on the rematch with Parker or Martin Piccoli too. Yeah, I'm hearing it's going to be November the 26th. That's what I'm hearing, and they may still have it on in Birmingham as well. That's what I'm hearing. There's nothing confirmed or anything like that. YB on your neck. Brilliant. Smash the like for sporting. Smash it up. Smash it a like or thumbs down. However, it's exactly the same for the algorithms. It all helps. Anthony Johnston. Who's Anthony Johnston? Yeah, go get him. Just in that Hearn said yesterday that AJ can't sign a contract for the Fury fight because he'd breached his commercial deals. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So they all have to agree to it and get their slot, if you like, for advertisements. Because obviously that's what they're sponsoring AJ for, isn't it? There's nothing that can justify Fury versus Charr. Not a damn thing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Johnny. You see that Japanese guy chuck Mayweather's flowers on the canvas? No, I didn't. I don't watch Mayweather's exhibition stuff. I genuinely don't watch him. I really don't. AJ's fighting Areola, is he? Well, if he does fight Areola's a tougher opponent than Emmanuel Charr. That's for sure. Who thinks the silence for both promotion teams for AJ is a good thing? It's good that things are getting done. Could be. The calm before the storm, as they say. If Conor Benn loses, he's going to be on top of the car park next week. AJ in the downward spiral also. Well, let's hope he's not on the top of the car park next week. Eddie Hearn, that is. Benn delusional. Chisora lost 12 times. And it's still a big pay-per-view. There you go. You see, somebody can use their mind. Why does Fury want to fight bums? He claims to be the GOAT because he likes the undefeated record. He's frightened to let it go. He's frightened. I don't know why no one else has killed the Charr story. Charr's been talking about fighting Fury for weeks, even before AJ called out. Yeah, exactly. And Fury entertained it before the whole AJ situation. But that seemed to go over people's head for some reason. It does. AJ's running sport and stop. Right. Lee, when I see you, I'm going to turn you into a ghost. You understand me? What happened to I'll fight Joshua for free from Fury? Yeah, I know. What Fury says today and what Fury says tomorrow. We all know that. AJ versus Areola is just as bad as Fury versus Far. It ain't great, but at least AJ is not a world champion and is coming off 2 losses. What's Fury's excuse? Fury's WBC whatever champion, giving Emmanuel Charr, of all people. Bacon and eggs. 1-1. What's up? AJ beating Fury is the best result for boxing. Oh, I can imagine the meltdown. Blimey. Fury man fans. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? It really is. Eubank Benn feels like Triple G all over again. Can't help but feel Benn is a massive disadvantage. He's not really a massive welterweight. He is, but because of the rehydration, the fact that Eubank can't eat and drink whatever he wants after the weigh-in is pretty bad. Actually, let me get this. Where's all these YouTubers, by the way? Right, sorry, guys, I have to go right the way down to the end of the chat. Areola Karanaki was fantastic. Yeah, it was. Areola Ruiz was good, but Areola versus Chisora is the most entertaining fight. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? It really would be. And not the fact he lost to Parker too. Joe showed his balls. Yeah, Joe Joyce is really cool. Les Reed, what's up? What is up? Big up, David. Hope you're well. Big up, I've Ben. All right. Callum. Dylan White versus Frank Sanchez next year when White gets another win under his belt. Yeah, why not? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Dylan fight Arsenbek Makhmudov. I'd like to see that. How much of a chance would you give Joyce versus Fury? I'll give him a real good chance. A really good chance. Again, you have to favour Fury. You do. But, yeah, Joyce can do it. Fury will lose at some point. He will. If Fury could spend the rest of his career ducking serious fighters and box nobodies instead, would he? Of course he would, without a doubt. Fury at Batty Hall. Oh dear. The winner of Hunter versus Huey Fury should be Mando for Dubois with WBA. Yeah, exactly. Unless, of course, Dan Dubois gets WBA super title shot first, then that belt will become vacant, which I'm presuming the winner of Hunter Huey Fury would then end up picking up. You know what? I'm going to post this out there. I think the fight gets announced middle next week. You reckon? Well, that'd be nice. Can you imagine that? Charr has a double hip replacement. It does, and a goddamn lobotomy to go with it. We reckon about the Bud Crawford Spence. It seems Spence is definitely ducking Crawford like Fury ducking AJ. Yeah, it ain't looking good, is it? Ain't looking good. It really ain't. Right. Jono, g'day.
What's going on, mate? I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm real cool. How's everything with you?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. The rain stopped. Woohoo!
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. It hasn't really stopped today. It's been battering it down here.
Okay. It's all good.
So, what's your prediction for Eubank versus Benn?
Man, I'm torn, to be honest. I'm liking kind of being on points at the moment, but a lot's going to depend on how good Eubank looks day of the fight with this rehydration clause and the low weight and all that sort of garbage. So it's going to be interesting, I think.
Do you agree with rehydration clauses? And are you surprised that the British Box Border Control are allowing it?
I am considering Eubank's usually a super middleweight, isn't he? So
yeah,
it's a bit low getting down to 156, and then having the rehydration clause on top of that. What's he only allowed to be 165 or something? Day of the fight.
Like that. It sounds like £8, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Considering I don't know what he usually rehydrates to at 168. He'd probably be 175, wouldn't he? So it's a massive weight cut for him. It is pretty dangerous, and I can see why Senior was a bit upset about it.
Yeah, do you think that if the fight goes into like the second half and Junior starts to slow down and start to fatigue, can you see that because his dad's quite emotional about everything, that he could actually throw the towel in?
Yeah, someone better keep the towel away from Senior, because I definitely see that happening.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's not long ago that he lost one son. He's made it quite clear he's really worried about Junior. So, yeah, keep the towel away from him. Let the coach do the job, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you guys, you're watching it on Sky over there, are you? Is it on Sky or is it on Fight TV or?
Shit, I don't actually know what it's on over here. It's probably on Sky New Zealand or Spark Sport, which is like telecom.
What happened to DAZN going to New Zealand then?
It's here.
Oh, is it here now?
Yeah, it's here. Yeah, we've had it for a while.
Okay, so it should just be part of the subscription then, should it?
Well, it's probably going to be pay-per-view as well still, actually.
Really?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't have it, so I couldn't tell you. I did have it, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of come and go with the subscription depending on what's on the schedule.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And on the Fury Joshua situation, do you think the fight will happen this year?
It's hard to say with how much crap Fury talks. I mean, if it was down to the promoters, they'd get it worked out and get it done by December 3rd. But how much convincing is it going to take for Fury to actually take the fight if the contract gets signed now? I mean, dude's making every excuse he can to possibly not fight. So, yeah, it seems like he's just using the name to get some media attention. Same old shit.
He's definitely one of the biggest divas in the history of boxing, isn't he? He's such a diva.
Yeah, man. Big time.
He really is.
I mean, I enjoy watching the dude in the ring, but outside of the ring, the dude's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is. Can you imagine actually being around him all the time?
Hell no. Hell no. I couldn't do it.
No.
I'd end up getting punched
excuse
out for
him to
saying,
escape.
yeah, I'd get punched out for saying, what are you doing, you muppet? Just
Yeah.
get in the ring and fight. Stop talking
Yeah, exactly.
shit.
I don't know how Parker puts up with it, to be honest, and Shane and that. I have no idea how he does it.
No, neither, mate.
Oh yeah, what do you think of the Parker fight? I know you done like the like the watch through and everything.
No,
What's
man,
your-
it was a great fight. I really enjoyed the fight. It was a
Yeah.
bloody good fight. Kind of went a little bit how I expected. I mean, I figured it was either going to be Parker on points or it was going to be Joyce by knockout. And, Parker coming in that heavy and looking gassed after 2 or 3 rounds, knew which way it was going to go from about then on. Big ups to Joe Joyce. The dude just keeps coming. He took so many good shots in that fight. Nice, clean work from Parker, but there wasn't enough of it. And he just walked straight through it. So, shit. I mean, Parker showed good heart and good chin to go as long as he did. It was like 7 rounds. He was gassed, and he still tried to come back into the fight in the 9th and the 10th. But I really enjoyed the fight, and I really want to see more fights with these top echelon guys taking each other on. There's not enough of it these days.
I totally agree. I mean, you mentioned about the weight there. Do you think that because obviously Fury, he puts on weight and he can do certain things because of the weight and the size, do you think that maybe they were trying to get Parker to fight like the big man?
Definitely.
Which
And
is totally wrong for Parker, isn't it?
Totally wrong, man. He hasn't got he's never going to have the stamina like Fury does to carry that much weight. But, hindsight's a wonderful thing. And I thought even if Parker came in at the usual 240, I still don't think he would have been able to handle that pressure. It's just too much. Yeah. So it was what it was.
Although I like certain bits that Parker was doing. I like the fact that at times he went from doing not much to then just springing to life. Do you know what I mean? It's like he would just jump on Joyce and just start throwing left hook, which would actually back up Joyce.
Yeah, well, he's always been fairly explosive, but after his explosions, he needs 20 odd seconds to go for a walk and take a rest. But Joyce didn't give him any opportunity to have that little rest. So, the explosions got less and less, and less power behind them. And Joyce did a job on him, knocked him clean out with that nice left hook between the guard at the end there. It was a beautiful shot.
I think what kind of was taking the fight away for Parker was that round number 3. There was a punch in round number 3 that seemed to visibly wobble Parker, and I think it affected him for like the rest of the fight.
Yep, agreed. Yes, after that 3rd round, he looked like he'd been in 10 rounds already.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah,
he really did. And what kind of chance do you give Joyce to beat Fury if there was to fight, say, next in December?
In December, man, I think Joyce will beat him, to be honest. I don't think Fury will take that fight in that shorter notice without having any kind of tune-up, because he's been a while since he's been in the ring, since he fought Dillian, isn't it? So
yeah,
I think he'd have to take a decent fight that's going to push him a little bit, maybe like a Wallen rematch or something, to prepare him for something like Joyce. But I don't know, man. I think that pressure, I think it beats everybody, to be honest. Even Usyk, I think, we've seen Usyk pretty much dominate Joyce, won every round in the World Series of Boxing, but over 12 rounds and the improvements that Joyce has shown in his last few fights, I think the pressure is going to get to every single person on the planet at the moment at heavyweight.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. And what do you make of people talking about Joe Joyce's chin like it's unbreakable?
No one's unbreakable, but dude's pretty damn solid, isn't he? The old Juggernaut name really suits. I guess his skull's a bit like the helmet that the Juggernaut from Street Fighter wears.
That bone density 5 times of a normal human being.
Yeah, well, I heard that a while ago, and I was thinking about it and did a bit of research on it. The bone density isn't actually going to help your chin, because what knocks you out is your brain hitting the inside of your brain case. It's like bouncing against it. So it doesn't matter how thick the bone is. That's not going to stop you getting knocked out, but it's certainly going to hurt the other guy's hand a bit more.
Yeah. That's it. That's been, isn't it? I mean, if you can't get him out with a chin, go to the body. We've seen Joyce hurt with the body before by Brian Jennings.
Definitely. That's the way to go. But Joe Joyce is deceptively smart about how he fights. He doesn't seem too worried about taking headshots. But when he takes a body shot or two, he does make adjustments pretty quickly. So he knows it's not necessarily a weakness, but maybe the weaker point for himself, and he acts accordingly. So he's very, very smart in there, as Joyce.
Yeah, I agree. And what about Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford? Have you been keeping tabs on the whole situation?
Kinda, they're looking at November 5th or something. I'm not getting too hyped about it until it actually gets made. I'll definitely watch it when it gets made. It's a great fight, but it's been so long that we've been waiting for this fight to actually get made. It's like 4 years. So I'm never too hopeful that it's going to happen this year. But hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. And who do you favour in that fight?
Bud. I think I think he'll get a late stoppage. But Errol's a great fighter as well, and how he fought against Ugas with the volume. I mean, he didn't seem to have much on the shots, but the volume was a big factor in that fight. So we'll see how it goes. I just think Terence will probably lose the first few rounds, do his usual download, and pour it on a bit later on, use his superior ring craft, and get Spence out of there maybe around 10 or 11.
Yeah. Oh, good question here. You'll remember this from 2013. David Haye versus Tyson Fury. Who would have won?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've never been, I don't know if you know, but I've never been much of a David Haye fan. I think he's a con man. He's swindled his way into a heavyweight world title. I mean, he was really fun to watch at cruiserweight, but as a heavyweight, I never put much credit in David Haye.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I hear that you guys have got a couple of good prospects coming through then.
You meaning like Hemi Ahio, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's under Lou DiBella these days. He'll be fighting on the Cambosis Haney undercard.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to be fighting a guy called Fainga Apelu. He's a guy who fought Lucas Brown. He fought Justice Huni. Comes to fight, should be a fun fight, but Hemi doesn't really get many opportunities, unfortunately. He's actually the Middle Eastern heavyweight title at the moment, the first one there's ever been. He won that in Dubai, I think, on a card over there against a guy called Mo Ali Bayat. But yeah, Hemi doesn't seem to get the opportunities. I think many people know that he's actually pretty dangerous, even though he's only a little 6 foot heavyweight. He hits very hard. He's very quick. Some are calling him the Tongan Tyson, but I wouldn't quite go that far. He's certainly fun to watch. Who else have we got? We've got another guy who's actually fighting Justice Huni coming up. This Kiki Toa Latali. He's a 6'4" heavyweight. He fought Dempsey McKean. He went to a decision, and he actually thought he won that fight. So there's another one there, but I don't think he's actually that flash, to be honest. But he comes to fight as well. Another fun fighter. Who else have we got? We got David Naika, cruiserweight, on the way up.
Is he the one that spent a bit of time with Parker?
He did. Yeah, he spent a few camps with Joseph Parker here and there. He was actually doing some work in the city kickboxing gym with Hemi Ahio and Junior Farr as well on opposite occasions. So he gets around a bit. But he was the Commonwealth gold medalist. I think he was a bronze medalist at the Olympics or something like that. Yeah, he was the bronze at the Olympics. But I don't think he'll actually go that far, to be honest, David. No, he's got a very much an amateur style.
Okay.
Who else have we got? We've got Andre Mikhailovich. I think he's middleweight. He's doing a bit of fighting in Australia at the moment. He's an interesting fighter to watch. He's very heavy-handed. Fights out of the Isaac Peach gym down here. And there's another guy too. I can't remember. He's also at middleweight. Can't remember his name. But those are pretty much most of the up-and-coming prospects down here in New Zealand anyway.
So what do you make of like the Australian boom in boxing? Because it seems like in Australia, they seem to be getting quite a few fighters coming through now.
Yeah, man. It's growing big time over there at the moment. I mean, the likes of Justice Hoodney, Jai Opataya, what's that little fellow who was a gold medalist? I can't remember his name. Benn, someone.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, boxing's certainly taken off over there, and it's helping with the boxing here in New Zealand because it's only over the ditch, and our guys can get over there and get some exposure as well. It's good to see DAZN getting involved. They'll be doing their first show in Australia, not too far down the track. See Lou DiBella and Top Rank are getting involved as well with the Cambosis cards and whatnot. So it's certainly growing down here in the Southern Hemisphere. It's good to see.
Do you know whatever happened? Because was it just before lockdown? I think it was that DAZN was going to come into New Zealand, and Parker was going to headline the shows, wasn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
Obviously, that's off the table now. He's with Sky now, but
yeah, well, he was with DAZN at that point, wasn't he? I mean, when he fought Junior Farr, that was off contract with DAZN. I think it was just because of the pandemic, but it was going to happen down here, and he was going to be like the flagship. But it sounds like Dempsey McKean's going to be the kind of flagship down here for DAZN when they take off now. So
he looks quite decent, Dempsey McKean. Decent. I don't have high aspirations for him, but I think he looks all right.
He's okay. Yeah, he's okay. I had questions over him ever since that fight he had against Johnny Rice. I thought that was a very, very close fight, despite what the scorecards may say. I think if they rematch now, Johnny Rice with his new confidence could possibly get a win. But Dempsey McKean's all right. He's got the size. He's 6'6". He's a southpaw, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. He's fairly quick, but I don't think he's that fluid. You know, he looks a little bit uncoordinated to me. I guess when you're 6'6" and that tall and gangly, it can be a bit hard to look a little bit more coordinated. But yeah, we'll see where he goes.
Yeah. Is he still with Tony Sims in the Matchroom gym?
I'm not sure actually. He was.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot of training over there, but he might be going back to Aussie now to get ready for his show. I'm just looking up when his fight is on, actually. Can't even remember who he's fighting.
Do you give Tim Tszyu much of a chance against Charlo?
Maybe 30%, something like that. I mean, it's hard to know because he hasn't really fought at a great level. He did get put down when he went over to America, didn't he? But I think he was a bit overexcited in that fight, first fight in America, and big broadcaster, so he wanted to put on a big show. He got a bit excited, got put on his wallet, but he got up and come back and won the fight. So we'll see how much of his dad's gusto he's got when he gets that fight. It's in January, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Is he like a Russian descent, isn't he? Is it Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kostya Tszyu's his dad. His grandfather trains him in Australia, but Kostya went back to Russia years ago So he doesn't spend a lot of time with them, but they keep in touch.
Okay. Well, a good fighter he was, Tszyu. And of course, obviously, my fantasy for me, like my end, would be the Ricky Hatton one, but.
Well, I can't forget the what's his name? The guy he made do the stanky leg. Zab Judah. Can't forget that fight. Yeah, he knocked out Zab Judah and won the title in that fight. It was I mean, you must have seen it. Zab Judah doing the stanky leg, and Tszyu put him out. It's a viral video.
Yeah, you know what? I think that Zab Judah. I mean, he was always underrated at times. I think that for someone like Zab Judah, he's kind of like in the wrong weight divisions, in the wrong era.
Yeah.
You know, because in most other areas, he'd probably really shine through. You know.
Definitely. Oh, I'm not saying Zab Judah's a bad fighter. He was a great fighter in his own right. Yeah. So I've just found that Dempsey McKean fight. He's fighting a dude called Patrick Corte, Korte, who's 18-1-1. That's going to be on the 15th of November. That's the DAZN premiere show in Australia.
It seemed like a decent record, but that could just be padded, couldn't it?
Yeah, I don't recognise the name. I'm just having a squiz through his record now and see if I don't really recognise any of the names he's fought either. So yeah, don't put much stock on it. It's supposed to be a showcase, I think.
And how is like a David Tszyu thought of in your neck of the woods?
He's a legend down here. He's a legend. Yeah.
Again, wrong era, weren't he? Wrong time.
Wow, he fought and beat a couple of guys who'd held world champions, but yeah, the timing was just way off for him. So it was bad luck, but he inspired a lot of Polynesian guys to get into boxing, along with Jimmy Thunder back in the day, of course, before David Tszyu.
Yeah.
So David Tszyu is 400 pounds plus now. So
is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. So
he loves his KFC. I mean, Mike Tyson doing these shows against older fighters as well. I always kind of held a hope that maybe David Tszyu and Mike Tyson would get it on in one of these old boy fights, but with David Tszyu being 400 plus pounds, I don't think there ain't much chance of that.
No, exactly. Does like him and Kevin Barry still speak? Do you know?
Oh no, bad blood between them. No way. Now they had a massive legal problem at the end of their partnership. They owned property up in a place called Parkery, north of Auckland, beach farm area, but beautiful beaches. And there was also their lawyer involved, and apparently David Tszyu ended up getting out of that partnership with no money coming from the property. There was a big court case about it, and many think David Tszyu was ripped off by Barry and the lawyer. Many think that David Tszyu spent the money like water and he didn't deserve any. So, yeah, they're not on good terms and won't be forever.
Well, that's a shame, isn't it?
It is.
Mm-hmm. And
don't mix business and personal investment.
No. Yeah, exactly. Is it David Higgins? Is he still part of Duco? Yeah,
he's still got Duco. Him and what's his name? The guy in Aussie.
The rugby player, wasn't
he? Yeah, Dean Lonergan. They were joint owners and they've split the company now. Dean Lonergan took the Australian side of the company and he's calling it D&L Events now. But David Higgins still has Duco over here. They still run some other things like 2020 cricket series that they have over here with like the All Blacks versus the Black Caps. They run that at the early summer, and they have the NRL Nines, which is run here in Australia as well in the summer months. And they still do a lot of other events, but they're not really involved with boxing anymore. Higgins is just Joseph Parker's manager when it comes to boxing these days.
Oh, right, okay. And then what's happening with Junior Farr?
He's taken a rest. I think he was offered a fight on this Cambosis Haney undercard because he's also a Lou DiBella fighter, but after getting knocked out so badly, I think he's taking a break and reevaluating whether he wants to keep boxing or not. I mean, he's a family man. Like me, he's got an autistic child, and that can be tough on a family life, and spending too much time away from family is tough for him. So I think he's evaluating whether he wants to keep going or not.
It's a shame about him, really. I mean, he's prime example of anything can happen in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, that was a freaky knockout.
Times, Junior Farr beats the shit out of Lucas Brown.
Yeah, I think he underestimated Brownie. Thought he was going to try and just survive for the first few rounds and then try and pour it on late like he's been trying to do in some of his recent fights. Got taken by surprise and got laid out. So, you can never underestimate your opponent, especially in the heavyweight division. It takes one punch and she can hit the fan.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Well, it'd be interesting to see him and Dempsey McKean,
though. Who? Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fight I've been thinking about for a few years, wondering why they hadn't got it on. I guess Dempsey wants to pad his record a bit more before he takes on some real challenges. I think he got a bit of a fright with that Jonathan Rice fight, to be honest.
Well, he called out Parker, didn't he, a few months ago? Old Dempsey McKean.
Did he?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, okay. He called out Parker. He says that he wants to headline in Australia against Parker.
Well, he could have said that when Parker was with the Zone. That might have worked then.
Yeah.
So,
and who do you want to see Parker fight next?
I want to see him fight White. I want that rematch. Yeah. I think it'll be a great fight. Both guys have been knocked out now, so we'll see if it happens. I think White's interested in it, but being over in America, like you say, it might be Jermaine Franklin. And to, I wouldn't hold it against either guy after coming off knockout losses to take on somebody a little bit of a softer touch. And I do think Jermaine Franklin is a little bit more of a softer touch. Yeah, he's unbeaten, but I think he's actually been beaten, to be honest. But on paper, he's not. But he'll get a few rounds. Dillian will get a few rounds out of him if it happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, can you see? Do you think that Dillian being with Benny McGirt is a good move or not?
I do think it's a good move. He's suffered a couple of Sparko losses, and Buddy McGirt seems to be able to get his fighters to not get hit quite so much. Seems to be able to prolong their careers a bit. And I think where Dillian's at right now, Buddy McGirt's perfect fit for him.
Yeah, that's it. Do you think that's a Dillian's got like a couple of years left in him at the top end?
Yeah, it's a little way back to a title shot, but there's certainly some guys he can beat in the top 10 still, I think. I mean, it's hard to tell after what seemed like a bit of a soft knockout against Tyson. What is the nerves in his chin are like now? So I don't know, maybe a couple of fights where he's not going to get hit too heavily, too badly. We'll see how he goes, but getting Sparko certainly does take its toll eventually, doesn't it? So we'll see what happens.
Would you like to see Parker take on like Luis Ortiz or Andy Ruiz Jr. rematch as well?
I don't want to see any top guys against Luis Ortiz. I think that dude's spent. He's totally spent. I mean, his legs are like he's carrying 20 kg blocks of concrete around on his legs these days.
Yeah.
I mean, give it up, Luis Ortiz. But I wouldn't mind seeing Parker in against Ruiz again. That's an okay fight. There's plenty of fights around the top of the division I'd like to see. If I want to see Luis Ortiz against anybody, I want to see him against Derek Chisora.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be a good fight. So, otherwise, I don't want to see Luis Ortiz full stop anymore myself. Who else I think Parker should fight? Maybe that Dempsey McKean fight would be okay. I wouldn't even mind seeing Joseph Parker and Hemi Ahio get it on.
Oh yeah,
I think it'll be an interesting fight because
do they get on?
Brings that pressure. I don't think they really know each other very well, to be honest.
Okay.
Hemi's training out of the city kickboxing gym. Parker's never trained in there. But as we know, Junior Farr and Joseph Parker had history through the amateurs, so they knew each other a bit. But ever since the Farr and Parker fight happened, I don't think there's been a very good relationship between Team Parker and City Kickboxing. Because apparently David Naika was going to be helping Junior Farr, but then Joseph Parker pinched him for his camp. So, yeah, I don't think there's very good blood between them at the moment.
No. Oh, and what do you think about Fabio Wardley versus Nathan Gorman? That's going to be for the British, by sounds of it.
I think that's real competitive, to be honest. I think that's a real good fight. I might actually even pick Gorman, to be honest. But it's tight. It's tight. I think the last fight Nathan Gorman was in, I was picking him to go a few rounds and maybe try and work his way in a bit, but he just blasted the dude out. It took me by surprise. So there's a bit more animal left in Nathan Gorman than I thought. That's good. And I don't know how much animal Fabio Wardley has in him, to be honest. I don't think he's fought the right opposition yet to find out. So, it's a real interesting fight, man.
And what about Alan Babbage versus Oscar Rivas for the WBC Bridgerweight? Apparently that's going to be ordered.
Yeah, I'll pick Oscar Rivas every day of the week in that one.
Yeah?
I like Alan Babbage. He's a real entertaining fighter, but Oscar Rivas has good amateur pedigree. I think he hits just as hard, if not harder, but he's definitely got way more ring IQ, and I think those factors are going to win the fight for him by a late stoppage.
Okay. Yeah.
But is there a date set for that one yet?
I heard it's meant to be at some point in January.
Okay.
As in, like the fight. I don't know when the negotiation period is. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But I think that whoever Oscar Rivas was supposed to fight, his mandatory is pulled out or something. So now it's going to be ordered as Babbage.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not too familiar with the Bridgerweight rankings and everything, but
yeah, I hadn't been paying too much attention to it. I saw that first inaugural fight between Rivas and Ryan Rizicki. And that Ryan Rizicki guy, he came out of nowhere. I'd never heard of the dude before, but he's got some balls, man. He's not the greatest fighter, but he gives everything, that kid. So I really enjoyed that first fight. It was awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was very entertaining. Definitely was. What are the kind of like a prospects? Well, who do you think is the best looking prospect at the minute in the heavyweight division to go on and do something?
Jared Anderson.
Yeah, you like him?
Yeah, I think he's the goods. He's only 22 years old too, so he's developing as he comes. I want to see him get a bit bigger fight. Actually, I saw an article of him talking about trying to fight somebody.
Not
the
Wilder
other
again,
day.
was it? Well, Aaron was on about him taking on Wilder at the end of this year. But
That's crazy. Nah, that's too soon. Well, depending on what happens with the Hellenius fight, because Wilder's been smashed over a couple of times and had a couple of really hard fights. He might be pretty shot worn by now. We just don't know yet. So, no, I see Bob Aaron was talking about Philip Hergovic for Jared Anderson. I think that's a great fight, but I also think that's a bit quick. It needs something in between. I wouldn't mind him seeing Jared Anderson take on Jermaine Franklin if White doesn't get that fight. I think that's a good stepping stone.
yeah,
Something like that, and maybe even like a Chris Areola, something like that for Anderson, and maybe look at trying to attack a world title position at the end of next year, sort of thing for him.
what do you think of Jared Anderson versus Daniel Dubois?
Oh, that's the one I saw an article about. Anderson was actually talking about he wouldn't mind fighting Daniel Dubois. So that's a good fight. I'd love to see that one. Similar age guys.
Isn't it?
Daniel Dubois probably got the higher level of experience as a pro. But yeah, I think Daniel Dubois hits harder as well, but I don't think he's as quick. Man, it's a good fight. That'd be a nice one to make.
It would. Well, there you go. Glass Chin says Anderson should fight Dami Rock or Cassius Chaney.
Nah, they're pretty low level guys, in my opinion. I mean, they're right, but no better than like a Kingsley Ibe, really, who he's already fought, or who was that other guy he fought? Can't remember off the top of my head. But Cassius Chaney, I think he's a bit of a hype job. George Arias would be a better fight. He's only a small heavyweight, but he beat Cassius Chaney. So, who's there? Michael Polite Coffee, something like that. I guess that's probably about the same level as Kingsley Ibe as well.
Yeah. What do you make of Jonathan Guidry defeating that other American prospect, Dakari Scott?
Dakari Scott, he's a big fat dude, eh? He's way overweight. Yeah, that's his problem. He's got a lot of potential, but he's got no damn discipline, Dakari Scott. So, that Jonathan Guidry, I didn't know much about him until he fought Trevor Bryan.
Yeah, so
I was like, hang on a minute. This guy's actually got some skills. He's got a chin. He's got an engine. So, yeah, it was a good win for Guidry over Scott for sure. It was a bit unexpected for many, I think. I think the bookies had Scott a huge favourite in that one. So,
this is gas tank to let him down, though, wasn't
it? Yeah. Too fat. Too much KFC.
Yeah, that's the thing with like a Don King. I mean, I know he didn't have like a too much time walking this earth, but he really, really rushed to carry Scott into a 10-rounder in only his 7th fight or 8th fight.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been so bad if the dude was in some kind of shape, but looks like he's come straight off the couch every time. So it's pretty sad. Don King to throw him in that deep when he's that fat, I guess. Yeah. Well, I guess you got to look at Jonathan Guidry. He's no bodybuilder himself, is he? So, but at least the paying public had an idea of what Jonathan Guidry's about after that Trevor Bryan fight. Whereas Dakari Scott hadn't been on TV that I'm aware of.
Yeah. No. Well, what about Dakari Scott versus Jose Stewart?
Oh, fatty v fatty.
Yeah.
I'll probably pick Stewart.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, it might be more of a sumo match if it goes past 3 rounds. You're hugging and holding on to each other because they're so tired.
There you go. Smoking Joe says he'd like to see Anderson take on Makhmudov. That's too far, do you think, right now?
No, I think that's decent.
Yeah.
I think Makhmudov would have problems, to be honest, with somebody who can move and is pretty quick. I saw Makhmudov take on Junior Farr in the amateurs, and he had a nightmare. He lost to Junior Farr, and Junior can move, and he's got fairly quick hands. That's where the problem's going to be. Who was it who Makhmudov fought just recently?
Takam.
Well, see, Takam slowed down quite a bit, but with his upper body movement, he was having some issues with Takam as well, wasn't he? So,
Yeah.
Somebody that's younger and moves faster, I think could be a real problem for Makhmudov. But you never know with that dude because he just comes forward throwing everything in every punch. And if he lands, it's trouble. So, it's a good fight.
Makhmudov versus Joe Joyce.
Oh, that's just brutal thinking about that shit. It's like Juggernaut v Goliath. I think Joyce would get him, but because Makhmudov's gas tank could run out, I think. But that's a fun fight too, man.
Yeah. Well, Makhmudov, he's a top-ranked fighter now, isn't he? And so is Jared Anderson. There's no reason why they couldn't really make that fight, is there?
That's a good
or one
point.
from take on Ajit Kabiel, who's also a top-ranked fighter.
Yeah, Makhmudov's just got a co-promotional deal now, isn't he? Because he's Yvonne Michelle fighter, or is he Eye of the Tiger? Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger, yeah.
Yeah. So getting that hook up with top ranks going to give him some opportunities. I mean, who else is at top rank? There's a fair few that have got associations, not necessarily contracts with them. Let's see, Takam's got an association with them. Rivas has got an association with them. I mean, I think Rivas is in the same stable though, so I don't think they'll be fighting.
No.
Sonny Conto, Jared Anderson. There's a fair few in that top ranked stable, so you see some of these guys fight each other.
Hasn't Makhmudov, hasn't he got like some huge backers behind him, hasn't he? Didn't it offer Wilder like 10 million or something a couple of years ago?
News to me, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big offer.
Yeah. I remember when like a Makhmudov, he came onto the pro scene. He had some huge financial backers. I'm presuming that they were Russian, and they offered Wilder like a 10 million to fight him. But I don't know whether it happened to that, whether Wilder turned it down or it wasn't real. I don't know.
Interesting. Well, until this war settles down a bit, I don't think we'll see too many offers coming out of Russia to pay American people.
No. Well, I heard that to the European Championships for the amateurs, they've banned the Ukrainian flag and national anthem because is it IBA, whoever it is that runs the amateur boxing, their president is Russian.
Oh, the ABA. Yeah. Okay. That's weird. They ban the people's flag that are getting invaded, but they don't ban the people doing the invading.
Yeah.
Backwards shit.
Yeah. Nathan Gorman versus Cash Ali.
Gorman. Stoppage.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Or Cash Ali by brutal bite.
Yeah.
There you go. He says Makhmudov looked good against Whack, but showed flaws against Takam.
Walker's 43 years old or something, and how many times has he been smashed in the head?
Yeah.
He's got a hell of a chin, but he's been beat up a fair few times. So
yeah. Didn't like a Kalisawan say that Maris Whack was taking PEDs for his endurance or something?
News to me on that one too, bro. I wouldn't know. I only hear about it when somebody actually gets popped, rather than hearsay.
Oh, there you go. So, Glass Chen, there you go. It says that like a Wilder was offered 20 million to fight Makhmudov in 2019. 20 million.
Wow.
And he turned that down. That's crazy. Why,
To
I
be fair,
suppose he
he
turned
was like
down
unknown at that time, wasn't he?
Makhmadov. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's like this huge old giant who looks like something from Lord of the Rings. You don't know what kind of damage he's going to do.
Yeah. Was that around the time that DAZN gave Wilder the offers as well? Was it slightly before that?
It may well have been. I think the
Yeah.
timeline is about there.
Yeah, so he was in the turning down big money phase.
Dumbass.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, from BG London. What's your thoughts on Tony Yoka?
Tony Yoka. I thought he was always overrated, to be honest. I thought Joe Joyce beat him in the Olympics. He was always a box and move guy, but if he got the pressure put on him, we saw what happened with Bacoli. He hasn't got the best chin, but once he starts getting pressure put on him and effectively, he crumbles. He hasn't got the heart.
Yeah.
He could still beat a few guys, maybe in the top 20 or 30, but I don't think he's ever really got a chance of being a world champion unless he can somehow fight for a vacant belt against somebody who he knows he can beat somewhere along the way.
Yeah. That's it. Well, what do you think about Martin Bacoli versus Joe Joyce? That's an interesting one, isn't it?
That's a good fight. That's a good fight, man. Bacoli's got a hell of a chin, and he can punch. He's got reasonable boxing IQ. I think that'll be a hell of a war. Yeah, I honestly couldn't pick a winner in that one. I think once again it'd be a case of Bacoli on points or Joyce by stoppage.
Wouldn't you fancy seeing Joe Parker take on Bacoli?
Nope, because Parker will get knocked out.
You reckon?
Yeah. I do. That pressure is something that I don't think Parker deals with very well. I hadn't said it in the past because I don't want to let everybody know that my boy from New Zealand has a pretty decent weakness, but Derek Chisora touched on it in the first fight with that pressure, but he's not quite big enough. Somebody that's as big as Martin Bacoli and as heavy-handed. I think that's a worse knockout than fighting Joe Joyce for me. From Parker.
Although it's like some of those vulnerabilities we started to see when he fought Dillian White, the way that he allowed Dillian to like bully him at times.
Yep.
I mean, like towards the end of the fight, he was starting to turn it around, but for like a good chunk of that fight, he was just allowing Dillian to just bully him.
Yeah, well, he never really seemed to have it in him that if someone starts fighting dirty, he doesn't know how to turn around and do dirty back.
Yeah.
He's been a bit of a good boy, follow the rules, and in some situations you gotta fight to the referee. If someone's doing some shit to you gotta do it back. And I think there is some improvement with that sort of thing in the camp with Andy Lee these days. But
do you rate Andy Lee?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I think he's a really good trainer. Well, not just a trainer, like they keep saying, he's more of a teacher. Whereas a trainer kind of watches and gives a few pointers in camp, but pretty much using the fighter that they got. Whereas Andy can build a fighter a lot better, improve on what a fighter has, rather than just along for the ride and the paycheck to a degree.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so A Skip says Chisora versus Zhang. Do you like that fight?
Zhang knocks him out, I think.
Yeah.
At this point, if it was Chisora from 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I think it'd be a lot more competitive. And I think a lot of people underrate Zhang. He's another one who's really slow like Joyce, but he's called Big Bang for a reason. If he lands on your chin, it's going to do some damage. And he actually showed
me, Vaserkovic. He really surprised me.
Yeah, me too. He just kept coming. After that performance a few years ago where he escaped with a draw, was it Jerry Forrest?
Jerry Forrest, yeah.
And he was talking about having dehydration and kidney failure, and his gas tank visibly emptied after 3 rounds in that fight. And many people had the opinion that the gas tank wasn't that good, but it seems that his claims to the kidney failure and dehydration were actually true, because he had not too many problems with his gas tank in that Hrgovic fight. Hrgovic seemed to have more of a problem with the gas tank.
Yeah, that's true. Well, do you think that with Hrgovic in that fight, do you think a lot of it was the fact that he got to Saudi Arabia way too late? Like,
Maybe.
with him training
There you go.
because I think America is like a totally different time zone, isn't it, to Saudi?
It is. It is. It could be a few things, He was still dealing with the grief after his father dying as well, and I think there was also a bit of him underestimating Zhili Zhang as well. I thought he was expecting him to be able to get him out of there in 4 or 5 rounds, but Zhang had other ideas, obviously, and I think when Hrgovic had landed his big shots on Zhang and it didn't move him, that was a real big deterrent for Hrgovic. He seemed like he was lost for ideas. So I think there's a few contributing factors there. But, yeah, I think one of the big factors is definitely Zhang was a lot better than most people thought, including Hrgovic.
That's it. And what do you think of Solomon Dakers?
It's a
bit tip-tappy for me.
Yeah, he is a bit tip-tappy. Doesn't seem to be... that fight was it last weekend I watched, and he looked like he was trying to sit down on his punches against Ariel Bracamonte, who's pretty tough, but he couldn't move Bracamonte. So
Fraser Clark blasted him 2 rounds, didn't he?
Yeah. So man, I don't know how far he's going to go. I think 5-0 with 1 knockout or no knockouts.
Yeah, 1 knockout.
Yeah.
1 knockout.
So we'll see.
I thought Daker's done well against Sokolowski, but that's the only real time that he's really kind of like stepped up a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that Bracamonte guy, he's not actually as bad as people think as well. Who did he fight in the UK? Was it Alan Babbitt? No, it was... Can't remember who it was. He fought someone in the UK a couple of years ago. Dave Allen, that's right. Everyone was expecting him to get blown out by Dave Allen, and turned out to be a pretty decent fight. So
Dave Allen threw a damn kitchen sink at him. He just kept going forward.
And Dave Allen hits hard enough when he lands too. We've seen what he did to Lucas Brown, So
yeah.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. I mean, do you think that's Solomon Dakers versus Fraser Clark? Do you like that kind of fight?
That's all right, yeah. Fraser needs that kind of fight too, doesn't he? He's getting all these opponents that...
well, he's fighting Sokolowski next.
Yeah, finally somebody that we know definitely won't pull out.
Yeah.
And he'll get some rounds out of Sokolowski as well. He's like the super journeyman, really, isn't he? The prospect killer, really.
Oh, yeah. He's done it to a few of them, hasn't
he? He is, yeah. Credit to the man. He doesn't get paid enough, that guy.
No. But, I mean, his record does him no justice because he's been robbed countless times.
Yep.
I mean, I thought that...
Lucas Brown.
Lucas Brown. I thought that he beat Lucas Brown. I thought he beat David Adelaide.
Yep. There was another one. And there's a few more that were close as well. Dude's actually got a bit of skill, and he'll fight 20 times a year if he gets the opportunity. So big ups to Kamil Sokolowski. We need more guys like that in boxing.
He's like a couple of levels below a Chisora, really, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a Sokolowski is the gatekeeper for maybe British to European level.
Yeah.
Chisora is a gatekeeper to get onto the world level.
Yep.
Although that'd be interesting. Derek Chisora versus Sokolowski. Why not?
It could be worth a look. I don't think it'll be pay-per-view, so might not get paid if it ain't pay-per-view for Derek.
Yeah. Although that is true, though. I mean, that Huey Fury versus Michael Hunter fight, it's like, I mentioned it, now Glass Chin's mentioned it, that Joey Forrest arguably done enough to beat Hunter in their rematch.
Yeah, I watched that Hunter v Forrest fight, and it was on Triller, wasn't it? I remember. I definitely thought Forrest won that fight. Oh, Jerry Forrest gets a bit of a rough time on some decisions as well. I thought he beat Carlos Takam even. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and arguably Zhang as well.
Yeah, definitely. So
maybe Joey Forrest needs to fight Sokolowski.
There you go. Now we're talking. Jerry Forrest and Kamil Sokolowski. Let's get it. Can't be upset with competitive fights, and I think that'd be one.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think that there's so many fights like that let's go way under the radar because, like, certain people got like a couple of losses. They're bums, and then suddenly they don't get any kind of money. They get no kind of respect. The fans are not interested, which is terrible for this era.
Yeah, mate. Indeed. There's plenty of fights competitive that can be made. Like, I like the idea of Hemi Ahio and Alan Babbitt. That would be fireworks. You know, that sort of fight, like we were saying before, Derek Chisora and Luis Ortiz. I think that's a great fight. And, you know, none of these are for bouts or anything, but they'd just be awesome.
Yeah.
Why can't we make more of them?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? There's like so many good fights out there to make. Really, well, to be fair, I think this year it's actually been all right.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad. There's been a few that have been okay, so can't complain too much.
No.
We could always do better as all.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That Mr. Motivate is back.
Oh, your mate.
Yeah, should we send him a link, shall we? Come on, Mr. Motivator, in your little lycra.
And to answer his question from the other day when he was trolling, yes, the glove controversy was brought up from the second fight between Wilder and Fury, but the people who were providing the so-called evidence were putting out videos of Tyson Fury in the first fight with his Everlast gloves on.
That's the thing, isn't it? You think that these clowns would at least get the basics right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that both sets of gloves were green, but come on. You know, it's like the tape around the wrist. The rematch was white. The first fight was red. Surely they can differentiate between the two.
Yeah, man. It is what it is anyway. But I think that subject is long past, Mr. Motivator.
Oh, there you go. Your guy versus Babbage. Ahio.
Yeah.
You like that?
Great fight. I've been screaming it every chance I get for a long time. When I first heard DAZN was coming to Australia and Dempsey McKean was going to be on the flagship show, I was like straight away, bring Alan Babbitt down here, Eddie. Hemi will fight him. Might steal the show.
Yeah. Look, can you guys get in and out of Australia no problem, can you?
As long as you've got no criminal convictions, it's pretty easy.
Would you go over there to watch like the Matchroom shows and that?
Oh, maybe depending on how big the card is, but still gonna cost what's $300 or $400 return for planes,
really?
something like that.
Much?
Yeah, round about.
Why?
Plus accommodation and all the rest of it. So, mind you, most of us Kiwis know some people in Australia. Most of us have rallies on the other side of the ditch and things like that. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't you know somebody who knows Jeff Horn?
Yeah, I've got a cousin who's a personal trainer who before Jeff Horn was fighting for world titles, long before when he was fighting on Joseph Parker undercards. She used to do a little bit of strength and conditioning training with him. So she even sparred him.
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
Good lad.
She said she'd only do it once after that. So yeah.
Oh, I think that Mr. Motivate is turning on you now because I think he's calling you Australian. He's saying, "What about your boy Cambosis?"
Idiot! I'm not from Australia.
Oh, well, what can you do? And Kirsty Green. Oh, there you go. Well, actually, you've come on just as I'm literally about to go off in a bit, actually. I've been on for like an hour and a half. There you go.
Who's come on? Oh.
No, that somebody saying that she's just caught the Chrysler Green has just come onto the chat.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes. What else have we got coming up? Is there anything decent on that undercard of Wilder and Helenius?
Frankie Sanchez is taking on some. Who was it? Is it Alexander Flores or someone?
Oh God! Oh,
I forget who it was. That he's fighting. He's fighting somebody like that. No, and sorry, it's the guy who Dominic Brazil beat once.
Oh, Carlos Negron. That's not so bad.
Yeah,
it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But Negron will still get his ass whooped. Man, unless Frank Sanchez can get a mandatory position, he's gonna have real trouble getting a decent fight. That dude's
Right.
like he's the boogeyman that Luis Ortiz never was.
Maybe Luis Ortiz versus Frank Sanchez.
I don't think Ortiz will want that fight because Sanchez has already smoked his ass plenty of times in the amateurs.
Did he?
Apparently. And Sanchez was only a teenager.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I don't think he's actually 28 or... Well, no, he's actually 30 now, isn't he? Sanchez. I don't think he's actually 30 either, but certainly don't think Luis Ortiz is 42.
Yeah. You see, this guy, he keeps embarrassing himself. I think that he didn't realize that we were talking about Benn Eubank for a good fucking 45 minutes earlier.
Muppet.
Oh, this guy. Go slap yourself in the mouth, Mr. Motivator, you silly sausage.
Yourself a Tyson Fury self uppercut.
Yeah. Leave Luis Ortiz, he's 43. 53.
Or 63.
Yeah. That's it. All right, and Jono, I'm going to end this stream. Everybody, head on over to Big Boys Boxing. Make sure you are subscribed to him for all the heavyweight boxing news and, of course, some other bits in that as well. You do your regular lives and what have you. And you always have guests on.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you very much for having me on as well. And we'll catch you all next time. Everybody take care.
All right. Take care, all.